We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. The fate of a young Squeegee kid charged with killing a Baltimore driver is now in the hands of the jury. The evidence they were presented and why both sides say they're confident in the case. We are taking a closer look at the work being done in Baltimore to prevent violence. We're going to look at the calls for transparency when it comes to the city's Safe Streets program. And it is the calm before the storm. We are on weather alert. When and where a line of severe weather will move in over Maryland. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. We begin with the weather alert. Things dry right now, but a line of storms will move in later this afternoon, and that means we could see severe weather. For a closer look at the timing, let's get right over to meteorologist Jasmine Lomax.
Thanks, Patrice. That's right. We are looking at the potential for strong, even severe storms as part of our latest weather maker. We're under a slight risk for strong to severe storms for the areas in yellow, areas in the dark green under a marginal risk. You do want to make sure that you're staying weather alert as we head into the afternoon. Otherwise, it's still dry right now, and we'll enjoy a few more dry hours before the storms move in. 83 currently over Towson with mostly cloudy skies. It does feel much warmer. It's starting to get a little more humid. It feels like it's 88 degrees. And around the state, we're seeing those temperatures in the 70s and in the 80s. We'll be closer to average, looking at the upper 80s, low 90s this afternoon. But again, we have those storms that could have impacts on your commute. Coming up, I'll break down the timing of the storms and the impacts we could see in my Weather Authority forecast. Patrice.
All right, Jasmine, thank you. Happening now, jury deliberations are continuing in the trial of the Squeegee kid charged with murder of a Baltimore driver. The teen's fate now in the hands of a jury. Attorneys in both cases saying that they are confident the right verdict will be reached.
Yeah, his legs was constantly shaking. I mean, he's afraid, he's scared. He was 14 when this happened just a little over a year ago, and so he's a child.
I've seen the video evidence that makes it crystal clear who was the perpetrator of the crime and who is the victim.
Well, Shannon Lilly is downtown with a closer look at the case and the evidence that jurors are now weighing.
Jury deliberations will continue today in what could become the last day of this trial. And those jury members will have to decide between several different verdicts, including first-degree murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter, or not guilty. Now, both the prosecution and the defense left the courthouse yesterday confident about their cases, so we're breaking down both sides. The prosecution is specifically pointing to dash cam and surveillance footage that captured this incident. They say it shows then 14-year-old Tavon Scott grabbing a gun out of a backpack with his DNA found on the strap. 48-year-old Timothy Reynolds is seen swinging a bat, but no contact is made. Seconds later, Reynolds is shot 5 times, once in the head, once in the chest, 3 times in the back. The state pointing out the fact that Scott just kept shooting, arguing the video speaks for itself.
Defendant retreated to get that gun and pull down that mask, and that the defendant, let's be crystal clear about this, didn't retreat. Under Maryland law, he has to, and when he doesn't, self-defense isn't on the table.
They're relying upon a grainy video that everybody has to squint their eyes to see, and quite frankly, it should be dismissed. They never connected the dots. They never showed that there was guilt beyond a reasonable doubt.
Now, aside from the self-defense argument, Scott's attorneys, as you just heard, are also arguing the prosecution failed to prove its case and law enforcement failed to do its job. For instance, all eyewitnesses were unable to identify Scott inside the courtroom, and Scott's DNA was never found on the alleged murder weapon. Also, the blue bandana found wrapped around the gun was never tested for DNA evidence at all. All of this, the jury is weighing today. And again, we could get a verdict any minute now. Of course, we will be following this very closely. Reporting this morning, I'm Shannon Lilly, Fox 45 News, Midday.
Well, as we said, the trial is now in the hands of the jury. Under state law, when someone is not in their own home, they have a duty to retreat before defending themselves. Attorney Jeremy Eldridge, who's not associated with the case, takes a closer look at that law and the case.
So the question for the jury will be, number one, was Timothy Reynolds still an aggressor? Was he still a threat to this young man? Secondly, was shooting him excessive force or reasonable force? And lastly, should this young man, even if he thought that Timothy Reynolds was a threat, should he have retreated and essentially run away instead of firing the firearm at that point?
We'll stay with Fox 45 News for continuing coverage of the trial. We've been inside the courtroom for every day of the trial and have complete coverage on our website, foxbaltimore.com. 11:05 now. Here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending number one, Baltimore lawmakers are calling on state regulators to investigate aggressive tactics some say BGE used to install external regulators at residents' homes. A letter to the new chairperson of the Public Service Commission is questioning if BG is upholding its commitment to provide accurate information to the public. Last month, 3 Federal Hill residents were arrested while protesting BGE's work in their neighborhood. There is now a pending lawsuit against BGE. Trending number two, a man arrested after police say they caught him with more than 6 pounds of marijuana. Anne Arundel County Police say 20-year-old Jacob Duke Seeley ran from officers during a traffic stop Friday night. When officers found him, they say they saw the drugs in plain sight. After a search, officers say they found psychedelic mushrooms, more than 11 pounds of weed and edibles, and other drugs, along with $400 in cash. Trending number three, a grand jury has now indicted an Annapolis man on hate crime charges following last month's mass shooting. 43-year-old Charles Robert Smith is due in court next week. He is charged with killing 3 people and injuring 3 others after an argument over a parking spot back in June. All of the victims were Hispanic. Family members of those victims say the shooting was racially motivated. Smith's defense attorney claimed that he was a military veteran and his PTSD led to the violence. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, and weather anytime. Search WBFF in your app store. Well, still ahead, it is so hot in Phoenix. People are being burned after simply falling down on the hot pavement. Coming up, just how hot that pavement is getting. But first, Adidas is trying to recoup lost revenue after cutting ties with Kanye West. The move the shoe company is making that is getting some fans upset. And it was all a hoax, what lawyers for Carly Russell are now admitting about her disappearance and sudden reappearance last week.
Fox 45 News, winner of 16 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
.1109 and taking a look at your social stream, the young woman from Alabama who claimed that someone kidnapped her after she stopped her car when she saw a baby on the side of the road now says she made up the whole story. A lawyer for Carly Russell says the woman admits she did not see a baby on the side of the road and was not kidnapped. Following the initial July 13th report, authorities launched a days-long search for Russell. Police are now weighing whether to file charges against her for making a false report. Here's what you're saying. Needs to do 18 months like Sherry Papini. another woman who did something similar. Mark says, I feel no shame or regret for believing Carly Russell was missing. I still hope she receives whatever support she needs. Instead of making jokes or feigning embarrassment, let's commit to finding the hundreds of thousands of Black women and girls who remain unfound and ignored. Well, new research shows children from wealthy families are more than twice as likely to attend elite universities than those from middle-class families. Despite having comparable SAT and ACT scores, research by Opportunity Insights, a group of Harvard researchers and policy analysts studying inequality, found that those from families in the top 1% saw multiple advantages, like preference for legacy admissions, weight placed on non-academic credentials, and athletic recruitment. Reaction: remove the human element and let test scores decide, I guess. Another person: it starts even earlier. Kids from wealthy families are more likely to be overrepresented in extracurricular activities, volunteer work from elementary through high school due to money, free term, which in turn is an advantage with admissions. Well, sales of leftover Yeezy inventory is helping Adidas recoup some of its losses. Adidas cut ties with rapper Kanye West after he made anti-Semitic remarks. The company estimated it was going to lose about $775 million in unsold sneakers, but it released some of that inventory and sold enough to reduce that loss to below $500 million. Still a lot of money. Here's what you're saying. Kanye makes a profit off sales of these leftover Yeezy sneakers. So much for Adidas's claims that it won't endorse Jew hatred. Another one: I have a feeling that Kanye West fans don't care if he's a bigot or racist. They just want their shoes. This summer, Sinclair is partnering with the National Diaper Bank for Sinclair Cares Summer Diaper Drive. Scan the QR code to help local diaper banks provide diapers to children and families in need. Donate today for a healthier future for our little ones. And if your family is struggling with basic needs for your baby, go to sinclaircares.com. Still ahead, we're looking at worker reliance on tips, why more and more businesses are asking customers to tip. But first, a dramatic rescue caught on camera: how a father saved his young child who was trapped in a hot car. And coming up later today at noon, it's Karamo. Then at 1, it's Sherry, followed by Hot Bench at 2. 11:12 now on Fox 45 News Midday. (11:14), we are on weather alert. This is a live look over Towson, where it's all calm now, but later this afternoon, we could see storms. Meteorologist Jasmine Lomax tracking the storms, and she's going to time it all out for us coming up in about 5 minutes. Caught on camera, scary moments for a family in Texas after they accidentally locked their baby inside a hot car. It happened outside of a grocery store in Harlingen. A bystander captured the moments that a man believed to be the infant's father begin smashing the car windshield. A woman was able to climb in and reach the child, who was then pulled out of the hot car by that man. What a scary thought. Oh my goodness. Topping your local news, city police are investigating a triple shooting in East Baltimore. The victims were all men between 20 and 25 years old. They were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, according to Baltimore police, 381 people have been shot and survived this year. 155 have been killed in the city. Now, while those numbers are down from last year, there are still growing concerns over youth crime. As violence continues, Fox 45 News continues to demand transparency from the city's flagship gun violence prevention program, Safe Streets. Sylvia Dance brings us a look at the unanswered questions around that program.
We've been pushing City Hall for more transparency on how the Safe Streets program operates, especially after 4 Safe Streets workers were at the Brooklyn Day block party, mediating 5 conflicts in the hours before the party turned deadly. That raising several new questions about the policies in place for mediations and how they're documented. We pressed Mayor Scott about that last week. Take a listen to what he said.
About a very sensitive process. We cannot put those workers at risk just because we want to think about and critique and criticize something that some people don't understand.
Can the public see a blank form?
I think the public should trust and know, just like they trust our police officers, that these lifesavers are out there doing their work.
We followed up with Mayor Scott after his comments, asking what information is privileged when talking about the document used to record and track mediations done by Safe Streets workers, and what is the public supposed to base their trust on for Safe Streets workers? Those questions were ignored by the mayor's team last week. Meanwhile, the city remains tight-lipped about who the Safe Streets employees are, but we're finding a few examples of employees getting in trouble with the law, like Ronald Alexander in his federal plea agreement confessing to taking drugs from people in the community as part of his work for Safe Streets. So the questions grow as city leaders lack transparency and continue to fund the Safe Streets program. Fox 45 News recently learning a new training program will be offered to the violence interrupters. The city's spending board approved more than $134,000 to partner with the University of Baltimore. Meanwhile, we still don't know what the current training is like for Safe Streets workers. For now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News, Midday.
Well, we want to hear from you. Do you think Mayor Scott needs to answer all questions about Safe Streets? Right now, 96% of those who voted say yes. Head to foxbaltimore.com/vote to weigh in. 11:17, and now to today's talking point. A new report is shedding light on the rising reliance of tips for U.S. businesses. The Wall Street Journal reports more businesses have started to count on tips. 16% of the small businesses surveyed by the Journal asked for customers to leave a tip. That is compared to a little more than 6% in 2019. The report credits the rise to businesses trying to keep wages low, but also wanting to increase workers' pay solely through tips. Mark Clark with Be More Lifestyle is here now. What do you think about the level of tipping that we're seeing?
I don't know. I don't like the idea. I get it. You're trying to get over, but I think paying the fair wage is first.
Right. And if you're not doing that, but then you want the customer to you know, bring that up to what it should be. And I think people are savvy enough, you know how it is, you know, I guess in the old days, if many of us who've worked in restaurants say, hey, you know, the base pay, hourly pay is low, but you get a lot of tips. Okay, all right, I get it, but no, I'm not doing that. I think that works for young, and I think that's the thing. Young people have choices, you know, from driving, delivery service, and different things. It's hard to get them in there because they're like, that's okay. I don't want to have to work under those kind of rules. I can raise my own tips if I do this over here. Well, and I'm not against tipping. I mean, I tip, but I'm also surprised at how many industries and places want you to tip. Now, it's not just what it would have traditionally been, and I would have tipped, but, you know, now it's everywhere. Yeah. I mean, it is everywhere. I had a handyman come from a handyman company. I'm not going to call out any names, but they charged me a bill, and then the guy was like, oh, but, you know, you sign off, there's a tip. What? They pressure you, too. They make you feel bad. Of course, I tip. Yeah, they make you feel bad because you're a softie. Unfortunately. All right. Thanks, Mark. Let's get over to our weather alert now. We've got some big stuff coming our way. Meteorologist Jasmine Lomax tracking incoming storms that could impact your evening commute. Jasmine.
Yeah, Patrice, that's right. We are getting ready for our latest weather maker, and that arrives this afternoon. Right now, though, we are still nice and dry, but quickly starting to heat up, and it's getting humid all ahead of those storms. 83 and mostly cloudy over Baltimore. It feels more like it's 88 with light winds. Across the state, we're mainly seeing those temperatures in the 70s closer to the state line. We've got some 80s closer to the bay, but the numbers reaching the upper 80s and even the low 90s in some spots. That's close to average for this time of year ahead of the storms. Behind the storms, a major warm-up. Now we are looking at a slight risk for strong to severe storms for all of the spots in yellow. We've got the chance for severe weather, a marginal risk for areas in the dark green. That's threat level 1 of 5, slight risk threat level 2 of 5. But regardless of where you are, you want to make sure you're driving safely. Again, over the next several days, it's going to feel very humid and those heat indices will be on the rise. So notice on the future scan, we are looking at a few spotty showers and potential storms around 3 p.m. Then as we head into the evening, and while you may be driving on the roads, we've got more storms on the way, and at times these storms could be strong, even severe. This continues around 8 p.m., but shortly after 9, the rain tapers, and we'll start off with dry weather tomorrow. We're looking at plenty of sunshine for the afternoon, and we're back to that nice and dry weather, but we'll have warmer temperatures on the way, especially for the end of the work week. Gusty winds and hail will be the primary threats. However, heavy rain is possible, and that could lead to ponding in some spots. There's a very slim chance for a tornado. That's the lowest threat. So make sure, again, that you are staying weather alert as we move forward. 91 tomorrow, upper 90s on Thursday and Friday, still in the 90s on Saturday. But as we end July, we're looking at the 80s and starting that way for August. Back to you.
Well, still ahead, will they or won't they strike? Coming up, the approaching deadline for UPS workers to reach a deal and how a strike might impact the country as a whole. And Tesla is announcing a new recall over its self-driving feature. How a flaw in the technology could put not only Tesla drivers at risk, but those driving on the road with them. 11:22 now on Fox 45 News Midday. 11:25. Don't miss this. Tesla is recalling more than 1,300 vehicles over misaligned cameras that could potentially cause collisions. Now, that recall covers the 2023 Tesla models S, X, and Y. The company says the misaligned cameras have the potential to cause the vehicle's semi-autonomous systems to fail with no prior warning to the driver. Tesla also says emergency braking, lane assist, and forward collision warning could all be affected because of the issue. The company will notify owners to schedule a car inspection and adjust its cameras if needed. About 340,000 UPS workers are ready to strike if they do not reach a labor deal. With just 1 week left to negotiate, UPS workers are poised for the biggest U.S. strike in 60 years. A UPS strike would mean a major impact on the national supply chain. The company delivers 1/4 of all packages. And FedEx pilots have rejected a tentative labor deal that included a 30% pay increase. The package included an equal boost in their pension benefits. The major objections from the pilots are not yet clear. 57% of the FedEx pilots who belong to the Airline Pilots Association voted against the proposed contract. Time now for your lunch break, and this might make you hungry. Microsoft is rolling out new limited edition Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle themed controllers that smell like pizza. The giveaway is part of the company's collaboration with Paramount for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem film, which is set to premiere next month. Well, that's all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Be More Lifestyle is up next. Mark Clark back to tell us what they're working on.
That's right, Patrice. We're talking airplane etiquette. Should you give up your seat so a family can sit together? What one woman said on an online post is now sparking debate. We will see you on
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Be More Lifestyle.
And what's up, Baltimore? I'm Mark Clark, and this is B1 Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here.
Hey.
Persia Nicole from 92Q and meteorologist Jasmine Lomax. Let me tell you right now, good morning, ladies.
Hey.
Now, here's something you probably never thought about. It's so hot in Phoenix, doctors are seeing a spike in patients who are getting burned by simply falling on the ground. The record heat wave has made the area hotter than usual, even for Arizona, because of its density and dark color. Asphalt can be dangerously hot, up to 180 degrees at certain times. It could cause a burn to the skin, just a fraction of a section of if you fall down and touch it. So be careful out there. This sounds as hot as Persia Nicole's show on 92Q.
I can't.
Yes. First of all, I would be the one who would probably be falling burning myself. I'm so clumsy, it's sad. I stump my baby toe every 5 seconds.
Oh my gosh. And and when you do it, it hurts because it takes 5 seconds for it to
It does. And then it lasts forever too.
So Lady T, are you concerned about falling down?
No, because I'm not going to Arizona anytime soon. So no, I'm not concerned at all, folks. But no, this is crazy.
This just in.
I'm not going to Arizona at all. But no, that is crazy. So people are just like, what, they're fainting, I guess? Is that what it is? They're like falling, or they're like burning their feet?
If you trip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, because I didn't understand that. I was like, wait, so how?
Somebody just wrote it. It was like, you know, it's so hot out here.
Somebody's out here falling. You fall. This is how I fell into the streets.
Yeah,
yes.
And if you lay naked on it, you'll get burned.
You'll definitely get burned. But it is hot out here, though, Jasmine.
Okay.
It's hot.
It is hot.
It's hot. It's unnecessarily hot. It's the humidity. I don't like it.
Oh, and it's going to be bad this week. We're talking upper 90s, so I'm not surprised about this. I talk about it a lot with pet safety.
She was ready.
You know, with pet safety, pets get hot too. So 100-degree temperature. We're talking 150-degree concrete, 160-degree asphalt.
And if a dog falls on the asphalt in Phoenix, they really get messed up.
And we could start, that's how cookouts will be different. We start frying stuff on the sidewalk.
That's right. They'll put goldfish on the ground in Phoenix either. There's a new viral debate over airplane etiquette after a woman says she refused to give up her seat to a mom who wanted to sit with the kids. The woman says she specifically booked a window seat so she could sleep before a big presentation. When a mom asked her to swap seats, she said she would as long as the seat was also a window seat. When she was told it was a middle seat, she said no, sparking debate online. Now, I get it. Okay, so let's start with Persia again. Persia, is she a jerk, or is it like, look, hey, what's your take?
I'm a jerk. Because if I'm flying Southwest, I paid for the A section, so I'm there. If I fly Delta or American or whatever it might be, I also paid to be in my seat. So as a mama, you should have paid for your child and yourself to be on this as well. Like, I can't, so you pay. So
As a matter of fact, let me just arm people, because it does feel bad to say no.
Yeah.
You have to, when they say, you say, I'm sorry, do you love your children? You're like,
right. Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
Lady T, what would you do?
Well, ain't
Lady
nobody.
T gets flued out by her rich man.
Look, I'm the queen of flued out. No, but ain't nobody that came in on C. Just because you took too long to. You came in on the C section. I'm talking to you. Just because you didn't get priority like I did. No. Ain't nobody just coming in C section telling me in A section where I can sit. I'm sorry, it's not happening. I love you, but no.
Jasmine is the nicest woman in America.
She is.
So Jasmine,
thank you.
She's so sweet.
Miss Jasmine, I'm sorry, I know you paid for that extra seat. Can my baby sit in this?
Goodness.
What are you gonna say?
I'm not sitting in a middle seat when I paid for a window seat.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No, I mean, I agree. If we're switching windows with windows, yeah, that's fine, but...
Okay, well,
right.
Jasmine,
It sounds like she needed another flight. Her and her kids needed another flight. That's what
Jasmine's not the nicest, sweetest person in America. We want you to tell her, would you have given up the seat? Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the Lifestyle tab. And, of course, you can also use the Fox 45 News app. We'll see at the end of the show what everybody's talking about, okay? Now, lace up your running shoes. A new study finds running isn't just good for your heart. It may also prevent Parkinson's disease. Scientists say in Italy, running stimulates the production of brain proteins, and those proteins help reduce the spread of Parkinson's.
Aww.
So, Jasmine, are you on board? You look like a runner.
Yeah.
I did run track in high school, actually.
She just want to put it out there.
Now, all right, now, are you a runner now?
I absolutely am not a runner now. Nope. No, but...
Now, I know people at home are like, I know Mark and Lady T aren't... Well, you know what? We are.
I look like I run.
Me and Lady T are marathoners.
That's right. That's exactly what we are. Ain't nobody running in this heat. Ain't that point blank period. No one's running in the heat. I'm sorry.
Guys, thank you. Persia Nicole is a sprinter. She's not a runner. Persia Nicole, are you a runner?
The happy hour.
Hey! The most unfit show on American television. All right, well, we see everybody. Persia Nicole, go back to the show. We'll see you guys later in the show. Thank you so much, ladies. Still ahead, we're talking the importance of self-care. We'll share some helpful self-care hacks that will help you and your family. And it's a new cleaning tool that will help you get those hard-to-reach places coming up the deal you don't want to miss. Don't you go anywhere. Stay with us.
You're watching Be More Lifestyle.
Climbing up a ladder or step stool to clean a ceiling can be a little dangerous. Nick Calderon is here to share a new way to keep your fan clean and your 2 feet safely on the ground. Here he is with today's money-saving deal.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
I don't like to clean. There, I said it. Do you feel like you're cleaning constantly and somehow there's still dust everywhere? I live in the desert and everything is dusty all the time. It's just part of life. Well, that dust could be hiding and raining down from one of those hard to reach areas like your ceiling fan. You know it's dusty up there, but it's always such a hassle to clean. Problem solved. This is the Blade Maid. It's specially designed to remove dust from those tricky areas like your ceiling fan. The cleaning head is uniquely crafted to capture dirt and dust from all sides of your blades all at once. It makes it kind of fun. Trapping debris in its microfiber, machine washable pads so it's not getting all over the rest of your house, making you have to clean again. And watch this. The telescoping handle makes ladders virtually unnecessary. Plus, if you don't have a ceiling fan, you can still use the Blade Maid because the head transforms to a pad that you can clean vents and baseboards and other hard-to-reach nooks and crannies. Last week, I was up on a ladder in my living room, hoping not to break my neck, trying to knock down spider webs and dust. It was a pain. I wish I had one of these at the time. Right now, we're offering 30% off the Blade Maid. Head to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer.
This summer, Sinclair is partnering with the National Diaper Bank for Sinclair Care's Summer Diaper Drive. Scan this QR code to help local diaper banks provide diapers to children and families in need. Donate today for a healthier future for our little ones. And if your family is struggling with basic needs for your baby, go to sinclaircares.com. Now, the weather this week is going to be great, so why not get outside and explore Maryland? If you like the water, why not check out Rocky Point Park in Baltimore County?
It's a beautiful park. If you want to fish, this is a great spot for it. Bring your friends and family.
A unique part about Rocky Point is that we have a swimming beach. So we're one of a few swimming beaches in Baltimore County. And then we also are offering more water sports activities this year. So we have kayaking, paddleboarding, and pedal boats. The great part about Rocky Point is there's so many picnic spots. There's beachside ones, there's playground side ones, there's point side ones, so you can really find a picnic spot wherever you so please. We do offer picnic rental, so you can rent an area. On holiday weekends, we only do first come, first serve, but if you show up early enough, most people can get an area.
Oh, the staff is amazing. They're friendly, they keep the park clean, and they keep it fun out here.
So I supervise both the swimming beaches, so Rocky Point, Miami Beach, and then the Loch Raven Fishing Center.
One of my main duties as a beach and park manager is to supervise the lifeguards and make sure everything is going smoothly in the swim area. My favorite part about working here is being outside instead of being cooped up in the summer. It's good to have fresh air, get off your technology a little bit, and just spend some time in nature.
I get to work in this beautiful landscape. I get to work with a different, unique group of people that come to this park. It's a very diverse group of people that come and picnic here. I've learned so many different things from my patrons, from my employees, and just enjoying this beautiful nature here is also a plus.
We're still hiring for seasonal workers. We're hiring gatehouse attendants, lifeguards, assistant managers, and managers. And you don't need any prior work experience, and you can still get lifeguard trained anytime throughout the summer. You can learn more about working at the beaches by going to the Baltimore County website and looking at the job section.
My name is Derek Jones. I go by Catfish Rick. Being a realtor, you know, my schedule is all over the place. But anytime I can get out here, I'm here.
When you come to the beach, obviously throw your trash out in the correct, receptacles. Try to pick up any trash, that might have flown out of the trash cans and, leave the wildlife alone. There might be some snakes, birds, fish, things like that. Just look at them, but let them live. It's a nature park. We love when people come out and kind of enjoy it and be in nature and, watch the wildlife, but just leave it be. Unique water sports program that we're actually offering is our kayak share program. There's going to be 12 different kayaks of different kind of varying kayaks of fishing kayaks, sit inside, sit on top, tandem, and you can take those kayaks out during the operating hours. It's going to be at 4 different locations here at Rocky Point, at Miami Beach, at Marshy Point Nature Center, and then at the Loch Raven Fishing Center. If you want more information about the park on the rental fees, the admission fees, park hours, you can visit the Baltimore County government website and then search Rocky Point Park.
Still ahead, breaking records at the box office. We'll look at the new Barbie movie as it sets records for female filmmakers. And Ariana Grande's estranged husband is breaking his silence over her ponytail. No, I'm joking. Lady T has the real scoop coming up next. And it's time to spill the tea. Lady T's in the house.
Hey, fellow tea sippers. All right, listen up. Now, let's talk Ariana Grande. Now, she's involved in some kind of love triangle or maybe a love square.
What?
So last week we reported that she and her husband, Dalton Gomez, split, right? TMZ reported the couple's headed towards divorce. But apparently, Ariana's already moved on.
What?
She's rumored to be dating her Wicked co-star, Ethan Slater. Sources say it's still pretty recent, and they both waited until they were both broken up with their partners before moving forward with their relationship. The tea, though. Ethan's estranged wife, Lily J, is devastated, she said. Sources say she said this is not the future that she had in mind. They were together for 4 years and they have one child together, apparently. Meanwhile, Dalton, Ariana's estranged husband, right, says he still considers Ariana his partner. Awkward. So, Mark, the Grande love triangle kind of got a little messy this week, is what
These
it seems
kids are
like.
messy. That's a whole mess.
It was a whole mess, a whole square mess. I don't understand how she's gonna get out of this one, but okay. All right, up next, you guys, the news we've all been waiting for. Okay, Jamie Foxx is finally speaking out about his recent hospitalization. The singer posted a video on Instagram. He said he experienced a medical complication and went through something he never thought he would go through. He said he did not want people to see him with all those tubes on him. Also, he thanks his sister and the doctors for saving his life. He still did not want to specify what the medical complication was, though. But now, you know, everyone can stop saying that he was cloned. We see that he does, you know, it is him, obviously. And he has a new movie out on Netflix. They cloned Tyrone, you know. So, yeah. Mark, did you see it already?
I did see it. It's
Did you
amazing.
like it?
And I talked to Jamie Foxx's hairline.
Wait a minute.
His hairline said it's back. Good to
It's
be
back. He said we're back and we're better. Okay, listen. I love me some Jamie. All right, up next, you guys, because it's keeps pouring. All right, so the term Barbenheimer has been trending. 2 movies released last weekend, Barbie and Oppenheimer. But one took over the box office, and that was, of course, Barbie, duh. The movie made $155 million in theater ticket sales. It crushed the weekend record for a film directed by a woman. Greta Gerwig needs to give her marketing team a raise, because that movie, it had like a major turnout despite the SAG-AFTRA strike and all the obstacles it went through. The film stars Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Issa Rae, America Ferrera, and many other celebs. And it's been all pink everything for the past week, Mark. It was box office gold. So shout out to them for that. I can't wait to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
I was going to say, did you get a chance? Because again,
I didn't get a chance to see it because tickets were sold out everywhere, which irritates me.
Wow. Okay.
I know, but it's okay. I'm going there. I'm going in my pink. There's still time, Mark.
Get it, Lady T.
Hey, all right. That's it for the tea for today. Now, y'all know what to do at home. Y'all got to go sip on all that tea.
And a live look now under the Inner Harbor. It's before the storm. Meteorologist Jasmine Lomax joins us.
Thanks, Mark. We are getting ready for our next weather maker, and ahead of that, we're still dry, but we've got increased cloud coverage and also increased humidity. Mostly cloudy over Baltimore, 83 for the current temperature, but it feels like it's 88 degrees, so starting to get a little steamy. Across the state, we're seeing temperatures in the 70s and the 80s, and this afternoon, those numbers are heading to the upper 80s, maybe even the low 90s for some. That's before the storms arrive, but following the storms, we're actually talking a very, very big warm up in our temperatures. Today, we're under a slight risk for strong to severe storms, and that's for the areas in yellow. That's threat level 2 of 5. Surrounding us, the dark green is for a marginal risk, threat level 1 of 5, which includes many parts of the state as well. Now, as we head into the afternoon around 2-3 o'clock, those showers and storms develop over the state. They start off spotty, but we see that increased coverage later on. Around 6 p.m., we're still tracking showers and storms, and this could mean a rainy commute. As we then move into the night around 8 p.m., more showers and storms around the state and the chance for areas of heavy rain. This quickly clears after that, and we'll be back to dry weather as we start the day tomorrow. By the afternoon, expect plenty of sunshine and high temperatures in the low 90s, feeling very steamy. It will be even hotter after that, though. We're looking at gusty winds and hail as the primary threats from the storm system. However, there's the chance for heavy rain, which could lead to ponding on roadways. This is followed by maybe an isolated tornado. The threat is very low, but still make sure that you have multiple ways of receiving any alerts that may be issued. This afternoon, our temperatures reach the upper 80s and low 90s. Rain chances increase, especially for the evening. And then overnight, we start to cool down, rain chances drop, and we'll be back to dry weather tomorrow. 91 for the high temperature on Wednesday, 98 on Thursday, 99 on Friday. Our heat indices will likely be in the triple digits, 96 on Saturday. Then as we finish out the month and head into August, temperatures in the upper 80s. Back to you.
This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by CVS Pharmacy.
On average, Americans spend about 30 minutes a day on self-care, and go-go days of summer are the perfect time to revamp that daily routine to make it more efficient and effective. Here with some helpful self-care hacks, family medicine physician Dr. Jen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So with summertime and other times of the year being so busy for all of us, how do people find time for daily self-health care routines?
Actually, it can be really tough, to be honest with you. We're all very busy, and sometimes it's just hard to maintain that routine.
And what are the typical self-care routines that people use, and what gets in the way?
Self-care and wellness can range from skin care, hair care, and things like that to things I often think about as a family physician, getting enough sleep, making sure that we're minimizing stress, we're exercising, eating a healthy, well-rounded diet. But also things such as, if your doctor has prescribed medications or vitamins and supplements for you to take, making sure that we're taking those efficiently, the way they've been intended to take, and consistently. I know my patients, sometimes it can get overwhelming with pill bottles. Did I take this? Did I take that? You got lots of bottles. It can be overwhelming. So one way to help facilitate your self-care, if you've been prescribed a vitamin or supplement regimen by your doctor, is with this CVS Health Quick Serve Vitamin Dispensing System. Literally, it kind of makes everything a lot easier. It's sitting on my kitchen counter right over there, but it's a way to take your vitamins and supplements that's organized, it's streamlined, you don't have to deal with lots of bottles and things like that. It can really be a great option for a lot of people. And it promotes something called vitaminimalism. I don't know if you've ever heard of, have you ever heard of that term, vitaminimalism?
It's the first time. Break it down.
Yeah, it's the first time for many, but I love the word, even though it's a bit of a tongue twister. It really describes what we're hoping for. Vitaminimalism is this idea that you keep your vitamins and supplements organized and within easy reach. And the CVS Quick Serve Vitamin Dispensing System really helps do that. It's a way to take your vitamins and supplements as prescribed in an efficient, sort of uncluttered, organized way. And I think it can be awesome, especially since there's a number of people who report forgetting even to take vitamins and supplements if they're on a vitamin and supplement regimen. So it can be a good idea for a lot of people.
So what's the bottom line in a proficient self-care system, though?
The bottom line here, top of mind is self-care is important. The family doctor in me wants all of us to make sure that we are investing in our bodies, our minds, our spirit, and paying attention to wellness and self-care. With that, though, we also need to find innovative ways to facilitate this. And the CVS Health Quick Serve Vitamin Dispensing System can be a way to sort of help us achieve our health goals. I always suggest people, this is only available, by the way, at CVS. So you can go to CVS or CVS.com to learn more about it. But really putting ourselves first is where it's at.
Dr. Jen, you've been amazing. Thanks for this great information, okay?
Thanks so much.
All right, still ahead, we're talking airline etiquette. Do you give up your seat so a family can sit together? Coming up, what you're saying about it ahead. There's a new viral debate over airplane etiquette after a woman says she refused to give up her seat to a mom so a mom could sit with her kids. The woman says she specifically booked a window seat so she could sleep before a big presentation. When a mom asked her to swap seats, she said she would as long as the seat was also a window seat. When she was told it was a middle seat, she said no, sparking debate online. And we wanted you to tell it. Would you have given up your seat? Right now, most of you are saying, it depends, okay? Great show lined up for tomorrow. We're talking healthy habits, the 8 habits doctors have identified that could add up to 24 years into your life.
Find out how to have your business featured on Be More Lifestyle. Email us at BeMoreLifestyleTV@foxbaltimore.com.
And thank you for inviting us into your home. Make sure you follow Be More Lifestyle on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.